Okay, was having some technical difficulties, just making sure we're up to par. This is Rich Fontaine on our Friday talks. A little bit at the end of the week, it was a great time for reflection. It was a great time to sit back and think about the week and think about what's been happening in our lives and how we can improve and what's been going well, and give thankful and praise to that. Hey, Liara, recently married. Congratulations again. I've known her since I was about 6 years old. Haley. Today, I want to talk about manifesting. It's a big thing. And of course, we all want to manifest things in our lives because that's why we're all here, is to experience the good and the joy that life has to provide. That's why we came to this realm and to this place. And manifesting could be very difficult for some people. I know people that want things constantly and desire things constantly and tell me, Rich, it's just not working. I'm just not getting what I want. And especially at the time that I want it. And I was reading a book called The Tao Te Ching. It's from a ancient Asian master, guru, sage, wise man, whatever you want to call him, named Lao Tzu. And I listen to a lot of Alan Watts, who reads his work, and so does Wayne Dyer. And so I was very interested, and so I started reading these books from Lao Tzu. And I was completely blown away by his knowledge and the way of his thinking. And I truly understand now why I started manifesting things tremendously and quicker and faster and with more accuracy and getting the things that I want. And sometimes not exactly what I want, but even better than what I thought I wanted. And I realized how I was doing that, and I want to share it with you. And I hope you could take this for your weekend and start getting to the things that you really want out of life. And that's really my goal, is to help people get what they really want out of life. How to start manifesting faster, quicker, with more accuracy is detachment. Which is going to sound very paradoxical, and it is. We live in a paradoxical universe, very oxymoronic ways of thinking, and it's just the way it is. But that's the truth. When you detach from things, you actually call it forth to you. And I'm going to repeat that because it's so important. When you detach from things, you actually call it forth to you. What I mean by that is that, let's take, for example, a little kid that wants a butterfly, right? And what they do is, when you're a kid, you used to like those fireflies. And what we do, we would put them in the jar, right? We would take the firefly and we put it in the jar, and we would close the jar up. But what would happen is, we wanted to keep the firefly so badly that we put him in a jar that it dies. It can't flourish. It can't go anywhere. And if we're too loose, of course, with the jar, it flies away. But that's the point of Lao Tzu's teaching, is to not attach yourself to anything. Knowing that you came into this world, you came into this universe with nothing. And you're going to leave it with nothing. So things go through you. They pass through you, but they're not yours to possess. Many times relationships fail because we hold on to it way too tight. And we're saying that you're supposed to do this for me. And we get angry because, why didn't you do the things that I expected you to do? Or why didn't you do the things that I thought you were going to do? But it's not the other person's responsibility for your expectations. And the universe wants you to be at peace with not attachment. And as soon as you detach from what you think you want, that's when it comes forth. For example, I wanted to speak at the University of Central Florida, UCF. I went there on a night. And I thought I had a really good story from going to that school, going through my struggles at the school to come out successful. And I applied, and I got zero response. Nobody called me. Nobody contacted me. Zero. And many times I've seen speakers, I've seen people in chasing success regardless, get bogged down by that. Oh, they didn't call me back, or nobody's liking my post, or nobody's responding to my my ads or all these things, and we get so caught up on the results. But what I did was I kind of detached myself from it. I said, you know what? If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm cool all the way, because I know something's going to come. And that's a belief system. And a belief is just something that you could continue to think over and over and over again. And what I did was I detached myself from it. And then one day, it was about 6 months later, I'm sitting at my computer and I just get this inkling. Always follow your gut feeling. That's 110%. That's the universe speaking to you. And I followed my gut feeling. I was like, you know what? I was actually going through my card book and I saw this lady's card from UCF, and I was like, let me just give her a call. Called her, so happened to find her at lunch on her day off. And so she had time to talk. And so I told her my story, and I said, I'm a speaker here locally in Orlando. I have a book coming out called Destiny on Purpose, March 3rd. Shameless plug. And that I really want to speak to these students, and this is why, X, Y, and Z. And she loved the story. She's like, you sound perfect. Do you have any opening times in February? I said, yes, I have opening times in February. She said, cool, let's sign you and pin you for a date. And now on February 23rd, I'm going to be speaking to students at the UCF on this big Chase Bank conference. Hey, Sharada. I love her. She actually wrote the foreword to my book. So you're going to get double whammy. And check out her book, too. It's on Amazon now, called The Breakthrough. And I realized at that moment that not at that point, from the time I didn't get 0 calls to the time I talked to that lady and got booked, there was no stress in my mind. There was not once did I doubt. There's not once did I say, oh man, how am I going to get this? How am I going to do it? UCF is not going to, little old me, why would they want to speak to me? Not once. Not once. I detached myself completely from it. And what Lao Tzu calls the middle way is what most people understand as being centered. What centered mean is you're not too far left, you're not too far right. You're not so high on your accolades and your successes, and you're not so much down on the things that go wrong. You're just kind of even keel. Even keel. The best athletes are even keel. I saw games where Kobe Bryant was missing shot after shot, but he was even keel. He just kept shooting. Like, I'm going to make one eventually. And I'm thinking, if we took that attitude for everything that we try to accomplish, if we took that attitude for everything that we're going for in our relationship with our kids, with our spouse, with our parents, with the job, with our career, if we're not so attached to everything, we detach from it. And that's when we can manifest anything that we want out of life. And I'll close with this. Is T.D. Jakes, Bishop T.D. Jakes, I was listening to this morning. And he said something very profound. And you don't have to be very religious to understand this. But he said, when God made the universe, before the earth was done, like the earth was shaped, but it was muddy, it was dirty, no wind was blowing, no trees were grown, no seeds were in the soil. I mean, there was nothing. There was just sunlight beaming down in this big block of boiling rock. And he said, before the earth was made, before humans, before the birds, before the planes, before any of it, he said, it's perfect. Oh, it is perfect. Before the full-on manifestation, before everything has appeared, it is perfect. Before your career takes off, it is perfect. Before you get into that wonderful, beautiful, lustrous vacation and lustrous relationship, it is perfect. If you live your life that is perfect already, the perfection will reveal itself to you. Once you detach from the outcome, once you detach from the ego, meaning the labeling, I'm this country, I'm my block, I'm my car, I'm my job, I'm my career, I'm my skin, I'm my color, I'm my nationality. I'm none of that, and neither are you. Because ask yourself one question. If you were born somewhere else than where you were born at, are you from that country? Are you that country? No. But are you still you? Yes. If you were born a different gender, are you still you? Yes. If you were born a different color, a different race, are you still you? Yes. You don't even own that. That's genes. That's genetics. Your parents own your body more than you do. Why do I say that? It's because it comes from the genes, a gene pool. But you are a soul entity within that. So you have zero attachment to this. Like the great book said, and my great mentor Les Brown says, be of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be in this world, but not be of it. And so when you detach yourself from all of it, you become a manifesting manifesto. You literally start thinking of things and they just start appearing because there is no blockage. You're not blocking any blessing with doubt or ego. You're not saying, oh, I need this to happen now. When you go at your career and you go through the process and say, you know what? I don't care if this is a 5-year game, a 10-year game, a 15-year game, a 20-year game, a 30-year game. I don't care when I get it. I just know in my hearts of hearts, in my soul of souls, that this is manifesting. This is happening for me. It will appear. But it cannot appear if you're so attached to it. Why? Because you are attached to an outcome that may not come forth. For example, I wanted a house in a particular type of house. But the house that I did get was better than the house that I wanted. But once I let go of the particulars, the exact house that I wanted, and said, you know what? I just want these items, and I'm glad, I'm happy. Those items came, and I was happy. It's when I detach from it, because when you get so caught up in your mind of what you want, and exactly in a box of what you want, you are telling the universe, I know better than you. You're telling the thing that created everything, you are smarter than. I'm not smarter than what moves the clouds and the moon and the stars. I'm not smarter than that. I know that. I can't. It bogs my mind. So when you realize you're not smarter than the universe, you allow the universe in and say, you know what? Whatever you have planned, I'm running with. And you live your life like that. It's so freeing. It's so freeing. I remember when I was younger, I used to be obsessed with females, right? And I would wonder, oh, is she going to text me back? Why she didn't text me back yet? I thought she said she was going to text me back. She didn't even call. Why she call all week? See, you know what? Forget her then. And usually when I was attached that way, I let the girl usually fall out of my life. But usually when I would say, you know what? If this is the good relationship for me, let it be. And if it's not, let it fall. I'm not too high on it. I'm not too low on it. And that's how I found the love of my life. I was good by myself. I really was. I was happy by myself. And as soon as I was happy by myself, that's when the person in my life came in. It's a very paradoxical universe. Once you detach from your desires, completely detach, say, you know what, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, something better will. And let that be your philosophy of life and mindset. You will start producing and manifesting so fast, your head will spin. Your head will spin. Ideas will start flowing. People will come into your life. This event, and I'm just going to leave it with this, just so I could give you an example and some context. The event that I'm planning in March 3rd, please come. Destiny on Purpose, March 3rd. I, at first, was bogged down by the details. I was like, man, I gotta get this person, I gotta get this person, and I gotta get music, and I gotta get a DJ, and I gotta get the place, and I gotta get the people, and where the people don't come. And it's till I said, you know what? It's perfect. Until I said to myself, Rich, your event, it's perfect. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be exactly the way it should be. That's when... within a week or so, I had the people, I had the vendors, I had the sponsors, I had the speakers with me, I had the books ready, I had everything ready within a week's time. And they came to me. It's like I didn't go out to them. It's like they came to me and I knew who to choose. I chose the right person. They said yes automatically. Why? Because I detached myself from it. I didn't say I was smarter. I said that I'm a vessel. Let me be used. I know it's perfect. How can I be used to make this perfect? And once I did that, everything falls into place. So for this week, if you could do me this one favor, you may know me personally, you may not. You may just catch this video sometime on live on Facebook. Detach. Try it. Just for the weekend. Just detach from it all. whatever outcome, whatever's on the news, whatever somebody's saying about a different country that upsets most people, you're not that country. You're not that race. You're more than that. And I don't want to go too esoteric, but if you knew how grand you would realize how minuscule all of that is. And I empathize so much because people get so caught up in stuff that doesn't matter and give away and for free everything that does. We give our thoughts away, and you are your thoughts. Not necessarily, you're more than that, but your personality is commanded by the thoughts you keep thinking. And we give our thoughts away, and we let people just enter into our minds easily and effortlessly, when that's the one thing you should be guarding. Again, I don't want to get too esoteric. I don't want to get too deep to this morning. But what I want to say is try it. Try the freedom of detaching from outcomes. Try the freedom of detaching from what's going to happen. And just be. For 24 hours, just be. Just let it be. It's like, you know what? What happens tomorrow doesn't exist. What happened in the past is gone. Just be for the day. Try it for 24 hours, and I promise you, things that you were wanting to have come into your life will start coming into your life like easy. That person that you wanted to call you, detach from them calling you and don't really care if they call you or not call you, that's when the phone will ring. That speaking gig that you've been wanting and itching for, detach from that, that's when the right person will come to your life and ask you to be there. You could believe me or not believe me. Either way, I always feel this is a successful conversation. Give us this day our daily bread. For trees. Absolutely. Our daily bread is just our daily knowledge. Give us today our daily knowledge, our daily wisdom. That's what I take the bread as. I take this as the food that's needed. This is the real stomach. It needs food. And detach yourself from the outcomes, and you will manifest it. Detach yourself from that relationship, and it will be yours. Detach yourself from the money, and it'll start flowing into your life. People will start calling you like, hey, do you do this? Actually, I do. Hey, how much do you charge? I charge this. Cool, let's sign a deal. It works that way. And it's so easy that we make it complicated. That's my message for today. I hope it touched somebody. I hope this is something somebody needed to hear because it came to me. Even these talks, I meditate on them in the morning and I let what comes to me to say. I don't reach for them because we're all vessels. We're the greatest manifestation to ever exist. We're an extension of what is created. We are the manifestation. Everything came from nothingness to be. And that's the greatest manifestation of all. So appreciate that you're here and there's nothing else. And then you realize that, you know what, why am I stressing? Why am I holding on to these things? Why am I holding on to the past? Like, let them go. None of it matters. And once you let it go, you start letting everything in. Ooh. Once you let it go, you'll let everything in. This is Rich Fontaine. Again, I appreciate you. My book of the week is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I always want to make sure, I give a plug for great reading. But just today, understand and know and realize that you are more than anything that meets your eye and that you can have it all. But once you let go of wanting it, or not wanting it, let go of your expectation of when it should manifest in your life. I ordered it. Oh, which one? The book or what you want to manifest? But yeah, just always remember that you can manifest anything you want by letting it go. And it will come forth to you. Like the time it takes, you can't open the flower before it's ready to bloom. You just have to let it bloom. This is Rich Fontaine. Oh, the book. Oh, okay. Yeah, great book. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's an amazing book. It's something you probably have to read 2 or 3 times. But again, thank you very much for checking this out. Hope this helped you for your morning and helped you for your day. Rich Fontaine, Namaste. Bye, Patrice.